Hi, this is Sherry Veronica. So this note came about a couple days ago and it came across in my chat and there was no signature. So it seems as though Steve Blackett responded to it and he called out the person who is allegedly Neil Marshall. But you would think that Neil Marshall, being a part of the D as in dog, DLP, you would think that he would know how to spell Steve Blackett's last name, and there's no E on Blackett's last name, and he is supposed to be what, an attorney there in Barbados, this Neil Marshall. But anyhow, he wrote this talking about Blackett knew all along that Ronnie was in the pocket of Mia Mottley and Jerome Walcott, and you know, he goes on and on talking about Ronnie's wife had been leveraged, and you know, you can read, you know, when Ronnie went to China and, you know, manipulation, and he called Steve Blackett by the end of his name like all the time. So it wasn't a typo. It wasn't a typo. This guy here, there's Steve Blackett with the E. Neil does not know that Steve Blackett's name and Steve Blackett's name has been in the news, you know, all the time. As of recent, it's in the news. So how could he not know? You see, simple things, little details. It's important. These little details are important. It only shows that Neil, you cannot trust him. And when he wrote the note talking about Mia Mottley and the B as in boy, BLP, you know, he didn't sign it. So when it came about, I didn't share it because I didn't know who wrote it. There was no signature. When I do anything, I said, this is Sherry Veronica. You know who it is talking. But in the response, which is here, the response, and you can read all this, you know, all, you know, it's all political. It's all political. But Steve Blackett responded, and he referred to him as a young man. Let me say to you, young man, I am my own man. So Steve Blackett went in on him, and he correctly showed his name, Stephen DeCourcy Blackett. There's not E, okay? There's not E at the end of Steve Blackett's name, and he's not worshiping. He's not a hero worshiping of any kind. And he talks about Ronnie and how he's new to the party, and you accuse me of being enamored, but you know, he's deeply implanted in, you know, the other ones, you know, where you know, where the sun doesn't shine. And you know, you can go on and read what Steve Blackett and how he responded to Neil Marshall. So Neil Marshall, he called him by name here. So Neil Marshall, you can go to where the sun doesn't shine, or maybe it does shine and really brightly. Who knows what happens down? Well, we are in a part of it here, so you know, I don't know, there may be different levels, but yeah, let's go on. So yeah, Steve Blackett is saying that he is going to fight until the end. Okay, he's going to fight all of the interlopers and all of the people who came in to disband and to betray and to, you know, cause havoc in the D as in dog, DLP. All of the people who came in to, you know, cast the DLP aside and to cause rancor and to cause dysfunction. This is Steve Blackett here. Steve Blackett is saying to Neil Marshall here that he intends to fight to make sure that Errol Barrow's party remains something that you can deal with, something that is, you know, strong, something that is viable. So Steve Blackett is there to say, yeah, I'm for the fight. I'm for this fight. And next time you, Neil Marshall, next time you write something, be a man up. Say your name, sign your name to it, okay? So that we don't have to wonder, well, who wrote that about Steve, or who spelled Steve Blackett's name with an E? Yeah, this is I guess that these two are the same people in this 30 years younger. You know, this him probably recent, as of recent, I don't know. But this is Steve Blackett here, and yeah, this is what is going on here. You can stop this video and you can see how this is the response here from Steve or Stephen Blackett, as he he correctly wrote his name. And yeah, when you write and when you talk, people need to know who's writing and who you're saying it about. You know, you're not talking about a ghost, and you yourself, you're not a ghost. So identify yourself. And when he talk about the unimpressive backbencher, you know who he's talking about, right? Okay, you know the one that betrayed the BLP. The BLP was betrayed, and he went back to the party that he betrayed. I don't know why they let him in. Why did you let Thorne in? Why? That's what they're talking about here, okay? Thorne, okay? Ralph Thorne. Yeah. So all of this started after Ralph Thorne crossed the floor. And you know, he's been in the paper almost every day. I think he wanted the recognition. He just wanted to talk, and you know, he could have, everything he's saying, you know, he could have said while he was where he was, but no, he couldn't really. You know, Mia had him. Mia had him in the dustpan. Okay, so yeah, so now he's able to say what he wants to say, and there's nothing Mia Mottley can do that he doesn't have a issue with. Everything Mia does, this Ralph Thorne has an issue with it. And you know, yet he was begging Mia to become part of her, you know, team, so that he could ride in to become an elected official. It's amazing. No good deed goes unpunished, okay? No good deed goes unpunished, and you should not trust anyone. So this is Steve Blackett's response to this one here, Neil Marshall. And this was what Neil Marshall initially wrote here. Okay, this is what he wrote here. Okay. Whew. Yeah, this is Sherry Veronica.